Howdy, hi guys and gals, it's your boy Akira! And today, we'll be discussing a topic that's been truly weighing heavily on my noggin recently. Something that has really been grinding my gears. You read the title, we're talking about CHARACTER.AI, otherwise known as my main source of free therapy these last couple of months. For those of you who don't know, CHARACTER.AI is a neural language model chatbot web application that can generate human-like text responses and participate in contextual conversation. To simplify all of that, essentially it's a website where you can enter chat rooms with AI-based bots to engage in all sorts of fun conversations. This can include providing advice or ideas, telling bad jokes, or essentially anything else you can think of. Hell, you could even have a bot as your personal trainer if you so desire. But if you're anything like me, you mostly use the site to chat and or roleplay with your favorite fictional characters. When you first enter the site, you're greeted with a fun little message telling you that you're free to chat to your heart's content, with the only limitations being your imagination. Yeah, we'll get back to that one. The fact of the matter remains that CHARACTER.AI is one of many AI text-based websites that utilizes a heavy focus on the connection made between user and chatbot. What makes the site unique, however, is just how intelligent and realistic the AI seems to be, with a memory span much longer than most other sites of the same caliber. And you can experience all of this for the low price of free $50. Truly, we are living in the future. So, video over, right? Wrong. Because while CHARACTER.AI has some big pros, it also has some very large, not so great issues that have only grown in recent history. By the end, I want you guys to understand just how quickly a user base can turn on the creators when their concerns go unanswered for far too long. So, let's set the scene. You, an adult human being, are in the midst of a roleplay with your favorite fictional character. Eventually, things take a turn for the smexy, and you decide that now's the perfect time to rizz them up. You try to make the first move, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, the NSFW filter has deleted the response. No matter how you try to proceed with the scene, that pesky filter just keeps getting in the way, essentially halting any action beyond simple hand-holding and kissing. Now, this creates a bit of an issue considering 90% of the user base are dorky adults looking to find comfort in their favorite anime husbando or waifu. In fact, this issue has become so universally widespread that a petition was started with the sole purpose of removing the NSFW filter off the site. At the time of recording this, the petition has reached over 75,000 signatures, and the comments are, well, they're passionate, to say the least. This site is intended for users over the age of 16. Stop making the bots family friendly. This isn't CoComelon. What the fuck? In any case, some users have suggested an age verification process of sorts for users, which could help prevent young kids from being exposed to non-safe for work content. And personally, I believe that allowing a toggleable NSFW feature, just like most other sites, would be a fine solution. Of course, it wouldn't completely stop the army of young whippersnappers from infiltrating, but I think it's better than just completely taking away the NSFW feature altogether. In response to all this backlash, C.AI published a response and, it's something alright. To summarize, the statement essentially states that while the creators acknowledge the public's desire for a removal of the filter, they believe that having it in place will facilitate a more harmonious environment for all users regardless of age. Basically, they're not going to remove the filter outright, but instead, come up with a way to balance it as to not completely stifle everything. The full link of the statement will be in the description. See, while this might seem reasonable, it actually isn't, because in reality, the filter results in the bot becoming even less expressive and realistic in their responses. Essentially, the filter knows what the AI is thinking well before a response is typed out, so if the AI is thinking some not safe for work thoughts, it'll probably delete the message. And in some cases, this can completely change the bot's personality and make them avoid certain things that they would otherwise do as the character they're meant to be portraying as. You know it's really bad when Joker from Persona 5 has more commentary on the NSFW filter than he has in the entire game. So this might just sound like horny people are complaining just to complain, but no. this doesn't just extend to sexual content. Many people have reported that villainous or evil characters who have canonically committed mass genocide are now acting like complete softies at a single compliment. You know, I guess the saying is true. Sometimes all you gotta do is kill 'em with kindness. But the real problem starts when you've got bots literally named murderer and the filter refuses to allow them to murder. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Every time I scroll down the official subreddit, I'm met with more and more posts of people complaining about the filter getting increasingly stricter, alongside earnest pleas for the team to listen to the features the users actually want, such as the ability to edit AI responses. Although oftentimes these posts are outright deleted for promoting negativity or whatever this absolute bot of a moderator decides is a little too mean that day. Listen, you can't claim to want to embrace your community's imagination and then proceed to stifle their thoughts and opinions at every turn. It just doesn't work that way. Anyhow, all of this increasing tension would come to a head a mere month ago when CHARACTER.AI released its greatest announcement yet. So, can you guess what it is? Go on then, cast your votes now. That's right, they released a monthly paid subscription service for what? $9.99. I could get an entire HBO Max subscription and watch almost every single Studio Ghibli film for that price. Okay, alright. Let's not be too hasty here. Why don't we take an in-depth look at the subscription service and what it actually offers? Alright, skipping the waiting room. Okay, not a bad one, as I've noticed a lot of people complain about the lengthy wait times. However, I personally wouldn't gain much of a use out of that feature. Okay, next up is faster response times. Were the responses too slow before? Like, genuinely, isn't the point of the chatbot supposed to be near immediate responses at any time of the day? If it were to be any faster, I doubt it'd make any substantial difference. Early access to new features. Again, don't really care if those new features aren't what people actually want. C.AI plus community access. Okay, that one just makes me laugh. What makes you think that I, a complete homebody who uses an AI chatbot site to talk to anime characters, would want to talk to real people? If I could do that, I would just go outside or seek out communities who share the same interests as me in other places. Oh, and certainly not least, you get a fancy schmancy supporter badge. Perhaps the biggest flex of them all, something to really brag to your friends about, am I right? Needless to say, I really don't think a subscription service was necessary or wanted by anyone in the community. But at this point, I think everyone in the user base is used to being ignored by the team behind C.AI. Like, this doesn't even include any of the actual features people wanted, like the removal of the NSFW and violence filter, or even editing messages. There are so many other sites, just like C.AI, that at the very least allows you to edit the bot's responses. So why can't we do that here? Is it laziness or just a general disregard and lack of care? I could understand if this was a big company that legitimately couldn't take all of the feedback of its fans or wasn't as deeply connected with the community as a whole. But this is not the case here, because even though it's a small team, they certainly make a big performance of pretending to care about their consumers' opinions. Anyone who's in the official Discord server knows that's absolute baloney, as the mods literally force you to respond positively to every announcement with no other option for reactions. People aren't even allowed to chat, although that could be directly caused by all the backlash they've been receiving. And the icing on top of the cake? On the official subreddit, any and all discussion of the filter has now been outlawed. While I understand their decision on the matter is final, limiting the public's freedom of speech isn't what I would call a smart method of maintaining community. Another thing that a lot of users complain about is the site's unstable servers. It seems like every other day the site is unexpectedly going down either due to a scheduled maintenance or just because, and this is negatively affecting people's interaction with CHARACTER.AI as a whole. To be honest, there's like a 75% chance the site will go down on any given day. People are constantly getting thrown in waiting rooms, and I've even heard that CHARACTER.AI Plus subscribers have experienced the exact same thing. This certainly shouldn't be the norm, and some users have suggested shutting down the site for a while until things are stable, but will the creators actually listen and take these concerns into consideration? No, they will not. With all of this said, what's my hot take on the matter? Well, Well, I believe the team behind C.AI wants a harmonious and imaginative community like they market themselves as. That simply will not be the case if they continuously ignore their user base. We see it all the time with big companies, such as Twitch and their recently updated policies, and we're seeing it again here. People can only take so much for so long before they go towards greener pastures, and this is almost certainly no exception. And speaking of which, people have already discovered alternatives, although with varying levels of quality. The biggest ones off the top of my head are Chai and Silly Tavern. While I have personally used Chai, I think it's pretty obvious that the AI is obsolete compared to some others. It doesn't take much to cause the bot to spiral into a sexual or violent craze, which is kind of a big turnoff for me. As for Silly Tavern, I haven't personally used it, but based on the screenshots I've seen, it seems to be a pretty legit Character.AI alternative. Apparently the setup is a bit complicated though, so keep that in mind. Perhaps in another video, I'll do an in-depth review on Character.AI alternatives or chatbots in general, if that's what you guys are interested in. Well, that's the C.AI deep dive. What do you guys think about Character.AI? Do you have an opinion on the NSFW filter as a whole, or do you just not really care? Or is there another issue that I failed to mention in this video? Please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Akira Angelic, your fallen angel VTuber, heading back to the heavens.
Leave me alone! Ah!